Proposed mechanical resolution of black holes. Brian Michael Reeves. Correspondence niabrianreeves@icloud.com. Abstract. Black holes have been subject to much conjecture. Mathematically and theoretically, they provide an exceptional testing ground. In this paper, I will present an alternative model from which other new concepts may be extended, and will generally attempt to limit the scope here to the specific area of the black hole without diverging into other physical implications. The author does intend to extend these areas in the future. This paper is intended as a basic introduction to the concepts and shall be expanded in a further treatise, which is to include detailed process descriptions and mathematic proofs. Keywords: black hole, mechanical model, kinetic inversion, quantum mechanics, thermodynamics, dynamic systems, sideband cooling, baryonic, oscillation, Bose-Einstein condensate, metallic hydrogen, Hawking radiation, LIGO, gravity, space-time, electromagnetic, interference, lattice, glassy state, phase, elastic, inelastic, scattering, pressure, plasma, superconductor, field wave particle atom, Schwarzschild radius capture and binding, existence of dynamic ordering in a chaotic open-end. Conserved asymmetric flat space-time invariant system of net gain by the vision. History and paradox. First proposed by John Michell and Pierre Laplace in the 18th century as gravitational light traps, and further expanded upon in 1916 by Carl Schwarzschild. Great and popular minds including Albert Einstein, Sir Arthur Eddington, Father Georges Lemaitre, Robert Oppenheimer, David Finkelstein, Sir Roger Penrose, John Miller, Carl Sagan, Leonard Susskind, Michio Kaku, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Stephen Hawking, and many others have ventured into this abyss. It was in 1964 when the name black hole was coined, in a report to the American Association for the Advancement of Science to describe the once semi-mathematic trinket. Starting in 1995, astronomic observations have indicated the effects of a black hole, monitoring some 90 stars orbiting a central area in our Milky Way galaxy. In 2015, the Event Horizon Telescope confirmed the existence of magnetic field disturbances around that area, which is assumed to be a black hole named Sagittarius A. A generalized area for its existence of less than 1.2 astronomical units across has been established. Its mass is inferred to be 4.3 million times that of our Sun. Multiple signals indicating gravitational disturbances attributed to black hole mergers have been recorded by the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory since 2015. Various paradoxical propositions have been extended regarding these elusive bodies, including that they are merely conceptual, warp space and time, link alternate realities in parallel universes, do not have volume, include singularities, infinities, lack regular matter or properties, preserve information on two-dimensional screens, or allow time travel. It is by specific virtue, and personal opinion, that any and all self-imposed paradox be avoided absolutely in order to explain real phenomena. By essence of existence, all things energetic or material must have a congruent explanation in mechanically functional process. Every system has an input and an output. There is nothing in existence immune to cause and effect. Substantive evidentiary basis. Advances subsequent to the 1911 discovery of superconductivity in the following fields are being relied upon: quantum mechanics, electrodynamics, electrochemistry, chromodynamics, condensed matter, high-energy particle physics, topology, photochemistry, sonochemistry, high-pressure physics, chemistry, information theory, holography and string, applied computer, and material sciences. Specifically relevant to this matter are the recent discoveries of field perturbations by LIGO, electromagnetic fluctuations surrounding black holes, sub-zero Kelvin reaction in Bose-Einstein condensates, and the manipulative processes used to achieve reactions, along with the achievement of an observed phase change in hydrogen at low temperature and high pressure, as well considered are observations regarding non-regular phase transitions and states of matter. This paper assumes the position that fields produce waves, waves produce particles, particles produce atoms, atoms produce molecules. That there exists a pathway between disordered vacuum fluctuations in the field, through to ordered chemical and biological function. That matter can be broken down and absorbed back into the field. Currently disputed are concepts ranging between quantum and cosmological processes. There is motivation to account for the interactions, functions, motions, distances, properties, and gravitational relations of all things considered to be in existence, and that they be related together in agreed upon universal terms. The basics of a regular body, with regular matter, and regular properties. A black hole is in essence like any other body in space, taking up area and volume, while extending a superconductive field. It does so because it is colder than space. This allows it to act on matter and energy. And being superconductive, it is nearly uniform. Anything that comes into the field transfers kinetic energy to it and is attracted. This K condensation cools the atmosphere around it. Light goes through space without heating or cooling because it is not encountering any significant difference in K. When it encounters a dense electromagnetic field or matter, it interacts. When light approaches a black hole, it encounters wideband interference, or otherwise meets an opposing wavelength and is absorbed. Being centrally located, they suffer from an echo chamber effect of sorts as complementary emissions are converging in the region from all angles. The entire spectrum is absorbed at the black hole horizon due to low resistance. Regular matter approaching transfers K and heat, basically freezing and losing coherence. Some particles escape and are ejected as predicted in Hawking radiation. Because the shock of an entangled partner, at a precise angle of incidence, coming to a stop basically causes a spring action between the pair. This is rare in comparison to the normal action, and most pairs simultaneously lose K and they fall into the attraction of the field. At a certain distance, this fuzzy atmosphere is considered hair. When a large enough volume of energy is encountered and cannot be dissipated fast enough, there is back reaction and a bulk globular expulsion. The matter and energy accelerates inward because the black hole demanding heat and K alters the linear trajectory. This momentum is absorbed by the body. Hot moves to cold. K energy transfer drives the system. It is point focused to the center. When this weight attempts to force the particles to zero heat and motional dimension, they self-excite due to the overpressurization and reduction in degrees of freedom. They cannot oscillate because of the inertia surrounding them, but they also cannot cease to exist. So it causes an inversion from buildup PD to K, spontaneously accelerating them out of the center through supersolid, superfluid, and supergaseous lattices as a wave. The center is coldest because a phase transformation is occurring from PD to K. Overwhelming mechanical force is placed on the center from the accretion of condensed matter and energy by the surface. This high-energy phase of matter moves through the body, contributing to its packing and removing any heat and K the surrounding material has to give until it reaches the surface, as it expands away from the dense incoming atmosphere in order to warm up and relax. A black hole is absorbing and cooling energy and matter, condensing it and increasing its own density, emitting baryonic matter and energy which is repulsed in an effort to find equilibrium. It is a runaway K transfer pump. The spectrum of actions occurring in the approaching matter and energy around the body, the event horizon, consists of chemical, electrical, and magnetic reactions, breaking down the incoming material. As it does so, the infall interacts across a full spectrum depending on the availability and proximity of reactants. Anything that can happen, will. There is a latency factor in the interior, as heat energy cannot be absorbed from space itself. The black hole is constrained by its surface area and whatever it can capture. Energy has to be input into the system. As the incoming matter and energy condenses, it displaces the outgoing high-energy, low-temperature field. Battle of the black holes. Important considerations. The following notations are of central importance in an analysis of naturalistic physics. Matter and energy equivalence is not a linear relation. Information, phase, state, relation, is lost. All extra-dimensional models may be reduced to their lowest common denominators, which is 1 each, in x, y, z, therefore 3 total. The only accurate reference is the local frame. Time must be agreed upon. All interactions are synchronous and progress in a universal moment. The rates of those interactions are variable. Space is the area contained within unique volume boundaries. Space-time, therefore, is flat and shaped by, and nothing more than, the net result of all unique objects acting upon each other. All systems have an input and an output. Nothing is immune to cause and effect. All interactions are self-validating and therefore are inherently self-observational. Coordinate systems must be non-zero, absolute value, and transitory. Antimatter is converse matter. References, supporting articles, search for notations. Pressing the simplest element to exotic quantum states. Absorbing electromagnetic energy while avoiding the heat. Observation of the Wigner-Huntington transition to metallic hydrogen. New needle pulse beam packs a punch. Accelerating plasma mirrors to investigate the black hole information paradox. Nonlinear Bragg-Wheeler pair production in a tightly focused laser beam. Superfluid black holes. A metastable liquid melted from a crystalline solid under decompression. A new method to reduce the optical band gap of strontium titanate thin films. Direct sampling of electric field vacuum fluctuations. Gold surfaces and nanoparticles are protected by O0 Thiol species. Negative absolute temperature for motional degrees of freedom. Electric field-induced spin disorder to order transition near a multiferroic triple phase. Sideband cooling beyond the quantum back action limit with squeezed light. Anionic hydrogen cluster ions as a new form of condensed hydrogen. Electrolytes induce long-range orientational order and energy changes in the H-bond. Time-resolved scattering of a single photon by a single atom. Resolved magnetic field structure and variability near the event horizon of Sagittarius A. Nanoscale shape-mediated coupling between temperature and densification in sintering. Observation of the 1s to 2s transition in trapped antihydrogen. Evidence for Planck scale structure at black hole horizons.